welcome back to Pommyinoz. If you are new around here, please drop a like, drop a subscribe, and if you are a returner, welcome. It's great to have you back. We're going through our AFL season previews. We're on to GWS now, so without any further ado, let's listen to them. So 2020 for the GWS Giants was 8 wins, and that saw them come in 10th. And it saw them slide from finals and one of the favourites outside of the 8 into 10th in dramatic style. Perhaps what was more concerning for Cameron's men, they were in the hunt for large parts of the year, but when the games came down to the crunch, they just didn't get the job done. And they probably didn't deserve to be there based on their form, but they imploded when it counted. And this was amplified by their defeat in the Crows in round 16, where they just couldn't compete with Adelaide's competitive nature and bullish attempt on the ball in the middle. And that was the case and point of their season. Of all that midfield talent, only one of them finished inside the top 20 for disposals, and the loss basically underlined their year. Sometimes it did appear too hard for the Giants. There were positives though. Jake Riccardi looks a real sort and was exciting in games and really offers something new for the Giants. And Harry Perryman really came of age and really cemented that role for the GWS Giants and looks a solid little player. But the question marks remain about Cameron and his men. Can he motivate this side for greater things? They are a top-line talent, and as we know in the postseason they lost Cameron, 2021 shapes to be an interesting year. So 2021, the list in my opinion now is coming to that moment that every list has, where they have a host of mid-agers and they have a depth of massive young talent. And it will be a testament to Cameron to see what he does. He needs to somehow manage this list, bring the youngsters through, and also look at trading out maybe the mid-agers that have reached their peak. There's some huge opportunities here for players as well with Cameron out, and their ruck stocks are running absolutely bare at the minute. But there is so much talent on this list. I like the acquisition of Jesse Hogan. I think it brings in some youth and it brings in some experience to an already young forward line, and they have some top players in the comp. Tom Green for me is a player that they must play. He offers a bit of grunt and a hard edge about him, and I think that combination with Tim Taranto could be a really exciting one. And you need to get the ball out as quickly as possible to Cornelio and Kelly. These are huge opportunities as well there on the list for Keith. The 30-year-old now looks like their sole ruckman, and how this will affect them will be a wait and see for me, because they couldn't get their hands on the ball enough last year, although they showed good control. So 2021 will be very intriguing to see if he's added that final layer that this side needs tactically to go the next level. Ones to watch then. One of my favourite players we're going to start off with is Stephen Cornelio. Career averages at the moment are 24.3 disposals, 3.8 marks, 4.7 tackles and 0.6 goals. And last year probably wasn't the greatest year. We saw he struggled to transition into being that captain, and seeing him actually getting dropped halfway through the year. And Stephen is a player that can change a game. Goal kicking mids are a commodity, and the ability of GWS to rotate these mids across the forward line is a real dangerous thing in game. Stephen needs to really kind of go back to playing the way he did for me, enjoying it, attacking the ball with intent. But he's going to be one guy that I expect to really bounce back, and really if they're going to get back in the 8, he needs to up his game and be the leader from the front. An absolute deadly player on his day. He's got it all. Skills, nous, everything you want. A genuine threat, and a guy that I expect to see really go up a gear this year. Other guy is a guy that we love to hate, don't we? Toby Green. His career averages, as we can see, 22.3 disposals, 4.7 marks, 2.9 tackles, 1.2 goals. And this guy is an X-Factor player. He's a game breaker. He changes it. And also the fact that he plays so nasty, I think really does offer something in today's AFL. You just never know what you're going to get when you're on him, and it does free up other players. He's creative, he's tough to lock down, and when he's on fire, he's one of the best players in the comp. I think his reputation goes against him. I really expect him as well to have a big year if they are going to get back in the 8. He's a supreme footballer. He's a pain in the arse to watch, but honestly, on his day, is there any better players in the comp? Probably not. He can really turn a game. And the final guy is another guy that had kind of a poor year, but he was the one to finish in the top 20 of disposals. That's Lockie Whitfield. He can play anywhere. He's an absolute jet, whether it's on half-back, in the midfield or across the forward line. He is a real threat. 22.8 touches, 6.4 marks, 2.7 tackles and 0.4 goals. And you could pick any player really for GWS. They have so many. But his ability to break games open is a real delight. He uses the ball well. He attacks the game well. And he's that awkward height as well. He offers that interim as well, that outlet ball at all times. He's real integral to GWS's system. And they'll hope that they don't suffer their injuries. They've had a few injuries recently. And if you can keep Whitfield fit and the whole year with that midfield, he's the real cog that they need. So what's the success in 2021? It's got to be returning to finals, hasn't it? They've got a star-studded midfield, but they need to find the ball. Last year, only Whitfield made the top 20, as we discussed. And when you look at the list, that's unforgivable. They're definitely a top 8 side. And that has to be on the agenda. I fail to see how Cameron can stay on if they don't make the 8. I personally have them 6th to 10th. 2021 really shapes up to be an interesting chapter in GWS's short AFL journey. That's GWS then. Where do you see them finishing? What are your hopes and aspirations for GWS? Let me know in the comments. We'll chat about it. Till next time, Pom out.